Hi, Kim. Questions for Glenn?
My first question was, with the way that Obama is just taking this country financially right now and just the way the direction it keeps going and keeps getting worse, how long, I mean, once he's gone, finally, how long do you think it's going to take us to get it back? I mean, it just keeps getting worse. The government control, the Obamacare and all that. How long do you think it's going to take for it to get back to where it's going?
What is it? How many people, let me ask this question. How many people think we're going to get our country back the way it was? Yeah, it doesn't come back. It doesn't come back. You're at a point where I think you have to have a reset. And a reset is coming. Now the question is, what will it be reset as? And if we aren't smart enough to see what those who have power are doing right now, they are setting the traps for the reset to be able to say, gotcha. You are right here, and you're going to do exactly what we say now. We have to be very, very careful. We have to be cautious, and we have to know what we really believe, because a reset is coming. If you saw last night's program, Libya is within days of total chaos. Egypt is within days of total chaos. That's the Suez Canal. The estimates are, if the Suez Canal is blocked, a barrel of oil goes from $100 a barrel to $300 a barrel. $140 a barrel is where it was in 2008. I predicted 130 would cause a collapse in 2007. I said, oil hits 130 and you'll see it collapse. I was wrong. It was 140 and we had the collapse. $300 a barrel cripples the entire world, and it causes all of the economies globally to go into a tailspin, which would be the reset that I think that the elites are looking for. Your money will be reset. The conditions will be reset because we'll be in global war. It's interesting to me that Woodrow Wilson and the progressives and the Fabian socialists stirred it all up to have World War I come around. And that's how Woodrow Wilson ended World War I. FDR, World War II. And if you look at World War II and FDR and you model the two, and you look at the years, it's pretty darn close. 1933, let's say that's 2008. That makes 2014, 1939, when war starts, and 41 in the first year of the president's, the next term of the next president. You're headed for that. Now, do we have the character, the work ethic? Do we have the resolve to hold on and do the right thing and hold together as a people through that storm or not? Progressives are betting no. I bet yes.
And Kim, you had kind of a follow-up on...
Yeah, well, I also, you watch all these shows where Obama's going on Jay Leno, which you said a great thing about that, and he just goes all over the place, and there are so many people, mostly liberals, who love that as a president. They love this movie star president. Mm-hmm. And, you saw during the last election, someone's more serious, someone's more, more presidential, I would call it. But how do we get away from people really wanting this more personable movie star president? Is that ever going to change?
Yeah, two ways pain does it. So two ways. When the pain becomes apparent, and it's already becoming apparent, I mean, the reason why the economy is still not turning is the same reason why we had the Great Depression here and only the Depression in the rest of the world. It's not called the Great Depression anyplace else. It's called the Great Depression in the United States alone. And that's because we tried these ridiculous principles of progressivism under FDR, and it elongated. It did exactly what it's doing now. If you would have used true free market principles, and I don't mean Republican free market principles, but I mean if you would have truly unleashed the people of America and their ingenuity in 2008, we would be booming again. We would be fine. It's not that hard to turn things around. But we didn't do that. We didn't do that with FDR. In World War I, what happened was the economy tanked. We went to a global war. We lost, was it a third of the population of Europe? It was some ungodly number of Europe was killed. I think we lost one person to every family here in America between the war and the pandemic of the flu. And the economy was horrible, absolutely horrible. And taxes, I believe, at that time were up to 95% for anybody who made over $200,000. It was awful. That was enough to scare the American people to go the other way. And we had Harding and Calvin Coolidge. And we went for people, Silent Cal. We went for a guy who just spoke the plain truth, wasn't fancy, just said it and did it, and we returned to principles. I think we don't even recognize those principles anymore of hard work and ethics and honesty and everything else. So our bottom is going to be a lot lower.
We're right on track with our death and destruction talk here. Our Friday Ask Glenn Anything, and we've got much more where that came from coming up.
For the record,